we're going to be talking all about recruiting trends of 2023 and how you can use them for your own benefit. What are the top trends you think are going to be big this year? The best thing about 2023 is that it's no longer 2022. In a year that suffered from massive inflation, a serious pandemic, hangover, and widespread tech layoffs, it can really be hard to have any optimism about this year as well. But what if I told you that this year could actually end up being a great one for you and for your work? My name is Preston. I'm a professional recruiter in the tech industry. Today, we're going to be talking all about recruiting trends of 2023 and how you can use them for your own benefit. But now, although this overview will be more geared towards the tech and IT world, there's definitely going to also be enough information here for just about any field. So make sure you keep watching and don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell and like button. It really helps us out a lot. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Remote work. Remote work has actually been around in some form or another for a while now, but never really took off until 2020. The pandemic taught us quickly that you didn't actually need to always physically be there for a lot of jobs. While it has been hugely popular with workers, giving them more free time with their family and avoiding the dreaded commute, for example, there has also been some pushback by certain employers. And while Twitter, Apple, Tesla, and many other companies have made showing up at the office mandatory, there is undoubtedly a growing trend towards remote work. According to ladders.com, a website that tracks jobs earning over $100,000, less than 4% of high-earning jobs were actually remote pre-pandemic. This figure quickly jumped to 9% in 2020 and has now reached over 15% with no signs of slowing down. Even for jobs that don't quite hit this salary, the percentage is still rising. Overall, 25% of all professional jobs are predicted to go remote in 2023. For recruiters, this means that having CRM or client relationship management software is more important now than ever. Real quick, for those unfamiliar, CRM is basically an all-in-one program to keep all of your candidates and clients in one place. This means that when you are called upon to find someone who is right for the job, you'll have an immediate list of viable people to present them with. In a world of remote working where face-to-face interactions will likely be much less than before, having a strong roster of candidates will make your job much easier as a recruiter. Now, looking at it from the other side, as someone who's looking for a job, well, whether you are part of a mass layoff or just looking for a change, getting connected to job recruiters might be the very thing you need right now. Having someone advocate for you and be in your corner will make you such a stronger candidate for practically any job in any field. Referrals are always the best form of introduction. In fact, I'm even thinking of making a video just about that, how to link up with a recruiter and take your career much farther than on your own. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you guys are actually interested in. So in short, remote work is here to stay and will definitely be growing as the years go by. AI in recruiting. Moving on, we're now going to look at AI, artificial intelligence, and how it's actually going to affect not just the recruiting space, but the job market as a whole. But before I get into it, I just want to address something real quick. When people hear the word AI, I know a lot of different images can come to mind. Some people start picturing things like Skynet from the Terminator or HAL from 2001 or some other evil robot creature. Those are probably not going to exist in our lifetime and shouldn't be something you have to worry about, perhaps right now. When we talk about AI, what we're talking about are advanced programs and algorithms that analyze information, learn from it, and interpret the data in various different ways. Some AI, like OpenAI's ChatGPT, that's been all over the news lately, is called generative AI. What this means is that beyond just analyzing data and breaking it down, the AI will actually create new content based on information and rules it has learned. In the past, we've had some other examples of this, like Microsoft's and Facebook's AI, but they were plagued by a host of problems. Like someone had the unfortunate idea to have them study Twitter comments and other things people wrote online, and surprise, the AIs turned out to be racist, mean, and completely unpredictable. Who would have guessed? What separates ChatGPT from the others is something called Moderation API, a feature from OpenAI that scans all of the input and filters out racist or sexist ones, meaning things that are offensive and hurtful don't even make it into the program. So you're probably thinking right now, okay, cool, that's great news, but how does this actually help me find a job or learn how to work with AI? Well, AI is going to be increasingly used by all types of companies to make their candidate search more efficient. This means that instead of people spending hours looking through hundreds of thousands of candidates and trying to decide whether someone is suitable or not, an AI can do it all in a few seconds. This means that you'll want your LinkedIn and other profiles to be detailed, updated and as relevant to your skill sets and desired job as possible. You never know, the next person looking at your profile might not even be a person. AI is also likely to be used to help with onboarding new hires, meaning that when you land the job, you could very well be getting information and instructions from an AI. You might even end up chatting with one and having your questions answered altogether. While this might sound a little jarring at first, it could lead to a few more opportunities than ever before. Think about it. Instead of relying on a person to find you in a huge sea of candidates that you easily can get lost in, an AI can quickly seek you out and find the job that your skills are perfect for. And when you do get the job, instead of waiting for someone to reply to your questions or hoping that they're in a good mood to tell you, your AI buddy can actually message you back, provide the help you're looking for much quicker. AI is still in its growing phase, so at this point, it's anyone's guess as to what degree they're going to impact the workspace. But one thing is for sure, it's definitely going to be present. The changing workforce. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 3.2 million more baby boomers retired in the third quarter of 2020 than did in the same quarter of 2019. That number is likely only going to rise as more and more are reaching retirement age. The pandemic accelerated retirement for a lot of people who would have likely stayed in the workforce a little longer, meaning we're going to have a pretty alarming gap left behind. To make matters worse though, people are quitting their jobs at the highest rate we've ever seen in the past 20 years. Long hours, stagnant salaries, and job dissatisfaction are to blame here. So to fill the void left by all the people retiring, quitting, or being laid off, employers are gonna have to get serious about attracting good candidates. For recruiters, this means that we're going to have to be very frank with our clients about the new generation of workers and what they're looking for and also just trying to avoid. The pool of Gen X workers is smaller and only going to shrink as they approach retirement age themselves, with the oldest of them being almost 60 years old right now. So this leaves the millennials and now Gen Z to pick up the slack. If you know anything about them, you know that these digital natives have completely different needs and wants than their analog parents. Things like mental health, ethical leadership aren't just corporate buzzwords anymore. They are things that are important to the younger generation and are going to be super important to get them on board with your company. More and more, we're seeing companies focus on employees' well-being and job satisfaction, and what are the results? Stronger employee retention. It is so much easier and more effective to keep your employees happy and take care of them than it is to let them burn out, look for new ones, and then quit. As a recruiter, it makes me extremely happy to see clients addressing the changing landscape of the market and choosing to adapt for the better. Before even hiring, successful companies and recruiters are making the hiring process engaging, quick, and tech-friendly. Gone are those long, drawn-out, never-ending series of interviews and other outdated methods. Recruitment automation, mobile-friendly applications, and frequent feedback are the name of the game. Decline of soft skills. This last point is going to take a little bit explaining because on the surface, it might not seem like a big deal, but it actually is. And if nothing's going to be done about it, entire organizations can suffer. Skills are generally divided into two categories, at least in the workplace. It actually has its origins in the US Army, where it meant any skill that didn't operate machines. Now, that kind of sounded like almost everything in a way, and it really is. Hard skills are what we think of when people mention traditional job skills like coding, hardware engineering, programming, etc. Soft skills, by contrast, are things like time management, problem solving, public speaking, teamwork, attitude, and leadership. Trust me, these are not little things. They have huge impact on the workplace and morale and are only growing in importance. A 2021 study by Deloitte actually found that the US is experiencing a serious deficit in soft skills, set to be over 29 million by 2030. Adding to this is the fact that 66% of jobs are predicted to be mainly reliant on soft skills. Repetitive and simple tasks are likely going to be automated soon, but soft skills by definition can never be. That's why the demand is only going to rise. And how much will it rise? Well, according to a report by McKinsey, within the next 10 years, the demand for soft skills is going to go up by 26% in the US and 22% in Europe. For recruiters, the importance of paying attention to soft skills is more important than ever. Our job isn't just to follow the market, we want to be ahead of it. Employers and clients are already wanting hires who aren't just good at their job, but also a good fit for their teams, and generally people with good attitudes. LinkedIn even shared that 45% of bad hires lacked soft skills, meaning no matter how technically proficient these people were, bad attitudes, poor time management, or lack of good communication made them unviable for roles. Knowing that, this on the horizon means that you as a recruiter, hiring manager, or job seeker can start planning ahead and preparing. Ask yourself, where am I not doing as well as I could? How are my time management skills? Am I showing up on time? And am I delivering work by the deadline? You want to take a look at your team if you're on one. See how everyone is communicating. Is everyone contributing? Are there a few people doing most of the work while the rest just ride along? Am I just observing, or am I displaying leadership by bringing any issues we have to attention? Being able to engage like this is going to separate you immensely from the crowd and make you a very hot commodity. When you reach a point where you and your peer skills are more or less even, your ability to problem solve and keep a good attitude will take you to the top, especially with the deficit in these skills we're already seeing. As someone looking for a job or a promotion, this is something you need to internalize and practice. You'll be glad you did this when you see what's on the other side of it. So what did you guys think? What are the top trends you think are going to be big this year? Even with a lot of automation and AI-powered programs coming our way, the primary interactions we still have are still going to be people, at least until the bots completely take over. Let me know down in the comments what trends you think are headed our way, and don't forget, please consider supporting a fellow recruiter. Like, subscribe, click that bell button. Really means a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please also follow me at Preston_Park as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content daily. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.